We all remember these horrific images of brutal ISIS killings as they established their caliphate across a large swath of Iraq and Syria in 2014. Even on the campaign trail, President Trump talked of these brutal killings and drownings with shock and determination to eradicate ISIS. Now ISIS is decimated. The caliphate they had is gone. But a fierce group of fighters hangs on. Somewhere between 2,000 and 5,000 are said to remain. There are reports that in the past 8 weeks, ISIS militants executed nearly 700 prisoners in eastern Syria. They were among 1,350 civilians and fighters that Islamic State has been holding in the territory near the Iraqi border. We also know now, it's confirmed, that American Layla Shakwani, a 26-year-old Illinois native who traveled to Syria to provide humanitarian relief, was indeed killed by them in December of 2016. Also now, there's a lot of questions tonight about other Americans who may still be held there, including Austin Tice, whose story we have talked here about quite a bit, a Georgetown University graduate and photographer held since 2012. Today, the president announced that he would pull out all remaining 2,000 troops from Syria, declaring victory in this video that was released just moments ago.
I've been president for almost 2 years, and we've really stepped it up, and we have won against ISIS. We've beaten them, and we've beaten them badly. We've taken back the land, and now it's time for our troops to come back home. Now we've won. It's time to come back. They're getting ready. You're going to see them soon. These are great American heroes. These are great heroes of the world because they fought for us, but they've killed ISIS, who hurts the world. And we're proud to have done it. And I'll tell you, they're up there looking down on us. And there is nobody happier or more proud of their families to put them in a position where they've done such good for so many people. So our boys, our young women, our men, they're all coming back, and they're coming back now. We won, and that's the way we want it, and that's the way they want it.
My next guest is among the startled lawmakers today who are against the move from the president's own party today, Illinois Congressman Adam Kinzinger, who serves on the House Foreign Affairs Committee and is a major in the Air National Guard. Congressman, good to see you again tonight.
You too.
What's your reaction tonight?
That video is very disturbing. I've got to be honest with you. The whole thing, and I'll talk about the problem with what the president's doing, but I wear on my wrist a buddy of mine that I flew with in Iraq back in '08 that was actually killed in 2018 in Operation Inherent Resolve. For the president to point to the sky and say they want this, inferring those that have fallen, the president can't speak for fallen American soldiers. I'm not sure the fallen American soldiers want us to declare victory against a foe we haven't fully defeated yet. That's disappointing. On the bigger issue, look, when you say that we've left, we know that there's existing ISIS fighters. It's eerily reminiscent of what happened in 2011 when President Obama left Iraq and he said, just because somebody puts on a Bulls jersey or a Lakers jersey doesn't make them play in the NBA. And that's what ultimately led to this resurrection of ISIS. I feel eerily similar to that now. This is very disappointing. I have no idea where this came from, and I deeply, deeply fear the long-term ramifications of this.
That raises a good question. You know, as many have said today, this is obviously good news for Erdogan in Turkey. He was about to announce a new offensive in Syria. It's good news for Putin because his forces are fighting on the side of Bashar al-Assad in Syria. Bad news for Israel. Right? Good news for Iran, clearly.
Yeah.
And Brent McGurk, the president's envoy against ISIS, just said a couple weeks ago, we are not going to leave as long as Iranian troops are outside Iranian borders, and that includes Iranian proxies and militias. John Bolton told reporters that they were prepared to stay as long as need be. So why does it feel like out of the blue this morning did the president wake up and decide that victory had been established?
I don't know. Obviously, he had a discussion with the president of Turkey, made a decision. I think on the basis of that, it's what it seems like. That can't bode well for the Kurds, by the way, who have fought with us for a very long time. I have no idea what went into this. I can guarantee you, almost guarantee you, that none of his advisors said that this is a good thing to do. I know he's been playing golf with Rand Paul, and maybe Rand's tried to convince him of this, but the people that know things about foreign policy and the devastating impact of repeating 2011 again, I'm sure were shocked as I was by this. It's frightening.
Here's Rand Paul.
I'm proud of the president today to hear that he is declaring victory in Syria. The president has the courage to say we won in Syria and we're coming home. First president in my lifetime really to do that.
Rand's forgetting that President Obama said we won in Iraq and we're coming home. And then we had to go back to Iraq because there was this group called ISIS that was formed basically out of the old al-Qaeda. And we're in a generational fight. Our choice to fight terrorism is not ours. Our choice is where we fight terrorism. Do we fight them in Syria and Iraq, or do we fight them eventually back on the streets of the United States? I'm deeply, deeply worried about this, and I sure hope the president reconsiders.
One of the issues is that it's not over just because you want it to be over. And an arbitrary end to things has in the past, at times, turned out to be something that takes away the victory and takes away the accomplishments that were made by our dedicated servicemen and women. Here's President Trump on the campaign trail in September of 2015 talking about President Obama pulling out of Iraq in what he said then was an arbitrary way. Watch this.
Remember when Obama was saying, we will leave. We are leaving Iraq as of a certain date. Now, the opponents said, wow, that's great. What do we have to fight anymore for? Let's just wait a year and a half. That's what happened. So I want to be unpredictable, okay? I would never have given a date.
Is that the message tonight to Iran?
Well, he's certainly unpredictable. Nobody saw this coming this morning. Yeah, this is the message to Iran is you outlasted us. Imagine if you're an ISIS recruiter right now and you were trying to convince people that this is the coming caliphate and you couldn't convince them because the United States just crushed it. And now all of a sudden the United States is leaving and you can say, look, I told you this is the coming caliphate. Sure, we had trials. Sure, we had losses, but it's coming back again. This is going to be a huge boon for recruiting ISIS in the future. I implore the president to reconsider this. There's no shame in reconsidering this. There's some damage that will have been done regardless, but much less than is going to be done if you bring everybody home.
All right, we will see what happens. Adam Kinzinger, Congressman, thank you. Good to have you here tonight.
Thank you. Yeah.